Hey there, and welcome back to another Miraculous Ladybug video. And as you may know, recently we got a couple of trailers for both the Miraculous London special and then also for Miraculous Season 6. And between the two of those trailers, there was a lot to be discussed and a lot of theorizing going on. So last time, we went through the London special trailers, since that one's coming sooner rather than later, and now today we have the Miraculous Season 6 trailer. And so yeah, time to get cracking. For these two things, I honestly haven't been keeping up with leaks and rumors, so I'm rather fresh on everything. So good chance I'm going to get some stuff wrong, but that's okay. It's all part of the fun to speculate and guess and make outlandish theories with only a slight drop of evidence. But it's good to see it coming back, and whilst there has been a little bit of complaining on social media that I have seen, mostly in regards to the visuals, I'm actually pretty decently hyped about Miraculous at the moment. I'm curious to see what direction they're going to take things and how they're going to address some of the low points of Season 5. And so with all that being said, time to jump into the trailer for Miraculous Season 6 and see what we can find, see what we can piece together. Okay, so just two things to note before we go any further than this, or actually three things to note, just general observations from the trailer itself. In my video yesterday, I speculated that Miraculous Season 6 wouldn't be coming until winter, but this trailer says autumn, and that would indicate November at the latest, although honestly I'm still expecting winter. I don't know why, and I know they're saying autumn, but just a feeling. Next up, the animation style. I don't think this trailer's a finished product, obviously, but what we have seen, I know it's getting ripped a bit online, but I think it's going to be fine. And by the end of the season, everybody's going to have forgotten all about it, I promise. Although I will admit, Adrian's hair, it does look a little bit goofy to me at first glance. It's a bit, I don't know how to describe it, it just looks a bit strange. I think I just prefer his original design. Although for everybody else and the world design and everything, I rather like it as a whole. It needs a bit more polish, obviously, which I assume will come. I hope. And it doesn't help that the trailer I saw, and I think everybody saw, is extremely low res. And when that's fixed up, it's going to be even better, I'm sure. And then final thing before we go on, I'm really pumped that this seems to just be largely clips from a single episode. I kind of like that they're keeping a bit of mystery and suspense. And the fact that you can put together a full trailer with this much hype surrounding it from just a few cherry-picked scenes from a single 22-minute episode is always fun. But yeah, those are just some general thoughts. So let's start combing through this thing and see what we can find. Okay, so we start off the trailer with a quick look at Marinette and Alia. And you would think that after having finally done it, finally having managed to win the heart of the boy she's been crushing on, Marinette would be through with the jealousy and the weird stalker antics. And if you thought that, well, you thought wrong. As here she is on her balcony, watching him jog with somebody, a new character I guess, and also his jogging animation needs a bit of work. And yeah, honestly, I do hope that this is not a running theme throughout Season 6. Simply from seeing a couple of other clips from the trailer, I don't expect that this character is going to be a villain or anything like that. So hopefully the jealousy type story is just a one and done sort of deal. Miraculous does like to beat you over the head with the same storylines again and again and again, over and over and over. But this time, let's not do that, please. It's very much played out. Anyway, the dynamic of this scene, with Alia being the voice of reason and Marinette being utterly delusional, it does show that things haven't changed all that much. Speaking of Alia, I like her new look. Marinette seems to look pretty similar, but Alia is the most drastic change we've seen so far, I think. It works though. Anyway, I doubt that simply scoping out the potential rival is going to be enough for Marinette. So in this episode, I would brace for her to do something that is completely overflowing with overwhelming cringe, as is tradition. And then we see, I guess, the akumatized villain of this episode. Looks like an older athlete, and her whole vibe seems to be about becoming a better version of whoever you are. So like, almost a fitness influencer. And honestly, I think her design looks a lot of fun. Looks really goofy and over the top. Love the sunglasses too. And from here, we get a much better look at Adrian than we gotten previously. And I gotta say, it's both not as bad and also just as bad as everybody says. I really don't mind his face. I think a lot of people get fixated on it and think it makes him look feminine or really young. I don't think so. But that being said, I'm just not a huge fan of the hair. I really do not like the hair. Maybe it'll look better in the actual show release, but right now, maybe it'll end up growing on me. Who knows? I don't think they've nailed the design update for him. Speaking of which, Cat Noir transforms behind a bush, and whilst the trailer is admittedly low res, when he's zooming past, do his shoes here look really chunky compared to normal? No, just me? We also see Marinette, so she's traded in the classic pink pants for pink shorts with tights. I don't think it looks bad or anything like that. It's just a bit of a shock when you suddenly see something that had maintained the same design for a decade suddenly change. Imagine if Bart and Lisa from The Simpsons stopped wearing orange. It's just weird. And then we cut to the heroes battling the villain on the rooftops of Paris, as is tradition. Okay, so Ladybug has a new costume, it seems, and it looks good. And I know Cat Noir has that classic suit. You know, it looks pretty much the same here. I think the clunky shoes were just a weird shot from earlier, I hope. But at the same time, at a certain point I wouldn't mind them trying something fresh for his costume design too. Nothing too different, but adding something or changing something could be cool. I don't know. Honestly, with how popular he is, maybe nobody would ever agree with me there. They just want him to remain as he is forever, but still, I think it might be nice. They keep the banter going between the heroes, and it's kind of reminiscent of the old school early seasons banter, which is nice to see. There's less cringe from Cat Noir, there's less tension. Although that being said, as they're chatting, you can see that this is a rough cut, early, unfinished animated version, right? Some of those mouth effects look so goofy. Very rough. Also, as is tradition for the show by this point, of course the villain is going to get the best of Cat Noir, as we see in the trailer that she hits him with her eye laser power thingy, which in turn turns his suit, is that grey? And since she said something about making you the best version of yourself or whatever, I would expect that this is going to be something that takes him out of the battle, because it would be so weird if her villain power is just there to make him stronger and thus easily able to defeat her. You know what I mean? So realistically, based on prior episodes and power sets, he's going to be mind controlled, lose the will to fight, or something like that. Also, I take it back. Do not mess with the suit. This look ain't it. Cat Gree is not a character that I'm interested in at all. We then see Ladybug make her move, but the trailer cuts away to elsewhere, and we see a woman's face smirking, and if you zoom in on her collar, I think you can slightly see a pattern through those grainy pixels, and I suspect that this is Tomoe. So yeah, pretty sure she's going to be involved in some way as a villain throughout the season, most likely working with Lila for the time being, as otherwise she has no real power. She has a lot of money and information and robots, I guess, but she needs somebody with a Miraculous to work with, right? Otherwise, how's she supposed to pursue her agenda? So yeah, I hope they work together as two people who clearly do not trust or like each other, and are definitely going to betray the other at some point, but are forced by circumstance to be allies for now. That's how I would do things, at least. We then see normal Marinette just vaulting over a table with ease, so that's pretty impressive. Never seen that sort of thing from base level Marinette before. Feels like a Ladybug move. So it feels like they're definitely going to up the badass levels of Marinette this season, and in fairness, she probably should be able to do all that sort of thing. She is the guardian of the Miracle Box. Suhan could do this. Bet you Luca could do it now. No reason the two of them shouldn't be teaching her... Mira Kung Fu. God damn it, Asterix. Why'd you name it that? We see Alia walking down the stairs at, I think, Marinette's house. It looks like the staircase, the bakery. And Tiki follows her, and Trix is there too. No idea why Marinette's not here, but I'm guessing Tiki is going to be telling her to go back up there to try to convince her to talk some sense into Marinette, because she's about to do something very stupid in regards to her jealousy. Just a guess. I mean, the next shot is Marinette with the crazy eyes, so something's going on. I think next up is Adrian's jogging partner and the object of Marinette's jealousy, I think. I mean, her design is very generic, so if you told me this was supposed to be either the new character, Zoe, Chloe, or Aurora, I would believe you, but I think it's the newbie. And she's sitting with the little birdies in a nest, which I don't know why, but the cynic in me would say that showing somebody to be virtuous like that in an early trailer is an attempt at baiting the audience with a misdirect and making her the worst when you actually show her. But then the realist in me says, smarty pants, come on. They are not going to make the para-athlete a villain. That would be the worst optics ever. So I think she's just going to be a nice person. I don't even know if she'll be there long term. Is she just going to be a one and done sort of character? What do you reckon? We then see the villain who, honestly, big call, I reckon she's going to be the para-athlete's mum or something similar. Maybe her manager. But we see her attack Bob Roth. Good. Next up, she should go for Andre the Ice Cream Man. He needs to be a better version of himself. We see the new character running on her blades, get that Olympics tie-in. A little bit late, but it's still close enough that it feels topical. And then honestly, it's mostly just a bunch of rapid-fire action shots of the heroes fighting the villains, although I swear one of those shots has Marinette helping Alia's mum in the kitchen and seemingly failing, although I could be wrong there too. And then we end with that Autumn 2024 screen, which... yeah, hype. It doesn't really show much of a story, just key points, I guess, but it doesn't need to, because this is what this trailer's for. It's there to hype you up, make you excited to see the show again. And whilst the animation is a little bit rough, I think by release it's going to be fine. As for the story, I'm not really all that sure. If I had to guess for this singular episode that they seem to have used, Adrian's going to take up running, he'll meet this character, Marinette's going to get jealous and make things weird, as usual. Meanwhile, the kid's mum maybe wants her to take up running as more than a hobby and do proper competitions. Maybe the kid loses, or maybe she doesn't want to follow that path. Mum gets upset, akumatized, you know how it goes. And that's just a guess based solely on the clips. It's quite hard to piece things together as of right now. And I haven't really been digging deep into what statements have been made or anything like that, but honestly, I'm very hyped. And I think that this season, it has every chance to start really strong. But that's often how it goes, isn't it? The seasons start really strong, then they sort of taper off with weird choices in the writing, and they end weak. But we'll see if they can pull it off. I'm optimistic for now. And so yeah, beyond that, don't really have much else to say. And so I'll just remind you that these have all been my opinions, and now I'd like to hear yours. What do you think of my thoughts on the trailer? Are you with me? Maybe you think I've made some mistakes or made some wrong predictions? Do you have anything you'd like to add? Anything you think I've missed? I'm curious for your thoughts, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know.